Today we're going to be installing roof racks on this SUV right here. This particular vehicle is a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. This is what they call a naked roof. There is nothing on the roof. There's no sidebars. There's no nothing on the roof. So the only way you can attach this onto the vehicle is you're going to have to put brackets to hold it in the frame of the door, and that goes on top of the roof, and then you can put your basket, or you could put your rack, or you could put your carrier on top of that. All right, so it is a little confusing, but if you just see the directions and I talk you through one by one, each step one by one, you should have no problem whatsoever. All right, so let me explain the pieces you're going to need to put the roof rack system together. The first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a crossbar. These crossbars are actually called JetStreams, and this is made by a company called Yakima. And on the bar itself, it has arrows pointing the direction that the bar is supposed to go. The thicker part to the front of the vehicle, the thinner part to the back of the vehicle, and it shows you right here. Also on the back, it shows you right on the back. There's an arrow that's printed right on here as well, just in case you took this off in your unpacking and threw it away. All right. Next thing is going to be is the baseline towers. You need to install these, and they come with this hardware right here. It's an end cap and a clip that goes in the top over here. And last but not least, you're going to need the system that actually is specifically made for the vehicle. This one, like I said, is a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe, and these are the components for that. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your base tower. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take your base, and you take the sides here and you squeeze it together, and you just rock it back and forth, and you see the top opens up like that, and it comes out. There's a little tiny clip. There's a U-clip here, and it fits around there, so make sure you take the top out, otherwise you'll break the bottom. All right, so we'll take this out like this. We're going to put that to the side for now. Next thing we're going to do is right here, there's a little clip. You pull that clip out like this. Then we take one of the clips like this that came with it, and you put it inside here in the center, and you push it until you hear it snap twice, and then it's in place. Next thing you do, take your clip like this, put it up on top. You take the tool that's provided from the company. Now remember, you pulled your clip out here. So you pull that clip out, and that gives you access to the screw right here. If you don't pull that clip out, you have no access to that screw. So now we're going to just turn this and tighten it up very little, and you'll pull this down until it's even with the top of the plastic. And now it's even with the top plastic pieces on the clip. We're going to put this one to the side. We're going to do the exact same thing on this one. Squeeze it together, pull it, comes off. And there is no left and right on these covers, so don't worry about mixing them up. We're going to take our clip, put our clip in here like this, just like that. And you're going to push it, and it snaps in. Again, pull out that little trap door on the side here. Take your clip, put it in here, like that. Take your tool that was provided and screw it down until it's flush with the top here, so that this is totally flush. The plastic and the top piece of the metal here is flush. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our bar up on top. We're going to take this out just like that. It pulls right out. I'm going to take it and put this off to the side for now as well, just like that. This is a piece of rubber molding that comes on there. That we will need to put this on later on. Just keep it on the side for now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the bar itself. We're going to take the towers, and we're going to put the towers right in through here, and you're going to slide it in here, just like that. And if it doesn't slide easily, you'll just need to loosen up that screw on the bottom there. If it sticks going in right here, It's because the edge is sharp. You need to push down on the rubber, just like this. And then once you push down on the rubber, you're going to slide it on just like that. We're going to turn it around. We're going to do the exact same thing with the other leg. We're going to take that clip, slide it in here. Again, you're going to push it in. If it doesn't push in easily, we're just going to loosen that screw again. Again, push down on the rubber right here, and you can push it at the same time, and it pushes right past there. Slide it down, and now our towers are on. We're going to turn it upside down, and now if you look underneath the bottom right over here, there's numbers in here. You're going to need to take your directions that came with the base clip kit. You need to take these, and you need to come in here and look up the vehicle that you're working on. It's a Hyundai Santa Fe, and we need to follow it across here and find out what the distance is between this one and this one here. This one says it's 36 1/4 inches. So that's what we need to set the legs to underneath here. You're going to set it to 36 1/4. Okay, and we do the same thing on this side over here. We're going to set this one to 36 1/4. So now we have it set for 36 1/4 here and 36 1/4 here. Okay, and now that we have the distance set to the 36 1/4 as it's supposed to be, we're going to talk about the setting the pitch on here too. Now, when you look in your booklet here, it'll actually show you where A, B, and C is located. It'll also show you in the picture where the arrow shows you which way the arrow is supposed to be pointing, just for orientation. So this arrow is facing that direction, and this is what we see looking in through the top right up in here. We have the A, B, and C right here. And the way you set that pitch is you actually just move the foot back and forth just like that, and you set it to whatever is supposed to be according to your application. Okay? Now, the way you find out what your pitch is supposed to be is you would look in this booklet here. Mine is the Hyundai. We're going to look across over here, and you see pitch P2. It's B. That's where it's supposed to be, at B, and then the toe is supposed to be at 2. So we're going to set the pitch first, and then we're going to set the toe. All right, so this is the pitch right here. It calls for B, which is right in the center. So if this is pointing to the center here, we're just going to tighten this down, and this will be all set. You want to hold it in its position so it doesn't move. And once you have it fairly tight and it's not going to move, take your hands and you turn it until you hear it clicks. And then you know it's torqued to the proper specs. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side over here. Now again, if you can't get your tool in here, it's because this little cover here has slid over, and then you pull the little plastic clip out to access it. All right, then we're just going to tighten this down, make sure it doesn't move, making sure you're on 36 1/4 and that hasn't moved. And once you're confident it's good, then you just tighten it until you hear the clicks. And that means now it's tight. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to set the toe, and the toe is actually the rotation of this piece right up in here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our feet and we're going to put them on. As you can see, this has an arrow. The arrow is supposed to be pointing to the outside of the vehicle. All right, so you take your piece here, you put it over the top like this, you push it, and you hear that double snap, it's locked in place. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side here. An arrow facing to the outside. We're going to take it, put it over the top like this, and push it, and it snaps in. All right, now we're going to set the toe. The toe on this is supposed to be 2. We're going to turn the page so we see where the toe is. This is the toe. 1, 2, and 3. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lay this the way that we have our arrow. The arrow is facing this direction. So for us, the pitch is going to be exactly in the center, number 2. So that's where we want it. But at this point, if your pitch was different, you would loosen this screw right here, and then you would take it and you would turn it like that. See how this moves? That's the A, B, and C. But this one, I'm sorry, this is 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to stay on the number 2. We're going to put our tool in here, and we're going to tighten this down until you hear a click. And we know that that's tight now to the proper torque specs. Same thing on this one here. It's in the center where it's supposed to be. Now your application may vary, but this one, that's what it calls for. All right, so now we have our toe set, our pitch set. The bar is set to the 36 1/4 here and here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our strip that we previously took out. We're going to put it on the end here, push it in with your finger, just push it, it goes in, and then you want to push this underneath probably about 1 inch until it stops. And then once it does, you just continue down, hold it so you don't pull it out, push it all the way in. Okay, I'm going to take our scissor, and we're going to estimate about 1 inch in is going to go underneath here. So we want to make sure we cut it so it fits underneath there, approximately 1 inch. Just a regular household scissor is fine. And we're going to push this under, slide it in, and then push it into the groove like that. So now our centerpiece is in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to come over here to this end. We're going to take our rubber stripping, we're going to put it in here, but this hole right here needs to be free. You can't cover that hole. So what you want to do is you want to put this in here. Remember, you're going under approximately 1 inch on this side as well. I'm going to edit from this point because I can't get it under. You know what? Let me talk about it. Now this piece here is supposed to push under this cleat. It's not pushing underneath the leg. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and push it under here a little bit. We're going to stop and we're going to loosen this one up here just a little bit so we can get it underneath it. We're going to push it under. We're going to retighten it now. Make sure you stay on your mark. Now we're going to cut this off so that that hole was then able to be accessed. And you can see it's covering the hole, so we have to trim a little bit more off of it. And the next thing we'll do is we're going to take our end that goes on here, and this end goes in like this, the clip here goes over the top. It does not go underneath like that. It goes over the top like this, and you push it until it snaps in right there. Okay? We'll do the exact same thing on this side over here. We're going to trim this off again. This one actually pushed in as far as it's supposed to. Okay, and then we take our end. We have the hole is clear here. We're going to push this over the top, and that little piece is going to snap right into that hole right there. Over the top. You just tap it, and it snaps right in. Okay? All right, so this part is all done. Next thing we're going to do now is we're going to take it up on the truck, and we're going to finish it off up there. Okay, now we're going to take the bar and we're going to put it onto the vehicle. We're going to take these stickers now. We're going to put them on here, because we want to make sure if we take these off that they're going to go in the exact same location where they're supposed to be, because all of the measurements are different from the front to the rear bar. All right, so these we're going to put on there right now. They just peel right off and you just stick them on. And you can put them anywhere you want to on the bar. I'm sticking them to the inside, but you can put them wherever you like. So that way we know where is the front bar and where is the rear. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our measurements. If you take a look right here, there's actually a measurement from the front bar to the rear bar. So we need to make those calculations for how far it is from the front to the rear. All right, we already have our front bar installed. So we needed to have the front bar 11 inches away from the top of the windshield, which we put into position, and we tightened it down. So the front bar is where it's supposed to be right now. Check your chart here to see what your calculation would be. This one is 11 inches, but yours may be different. So our front bar is in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to the rear bar. And the rear bar is going to go up on the roof. So we're going to lay the bar on the roof, and then we're going to measure from the front of the front bar, the front of the front bar to the front of the rear bar. And that's what's called the M4 on here. So we're going to go to M4 on this page here, and we're going to see what our M4 would be, and it's going to be 32 inches. So that's how far the rear bar has to be from the front bar. So let's lay it up on there, and then we'll make our measurements. Make sure you put the bar on the way it's supposed to be, arrows facing the correct direction. Okay, so make sure your arrows are facing in the correct direction. All right, and make sure, now if you took this off by accident, there is an arrow underneath the bottom, right here. That'll also give you the orientation of how it's supposed to sit on top of the vehicle too. Okay? Now we're going to take this bar and we're going to put it up on top of the vehicle. We're going to lay it up on here. It's supposed to sit up on the top right here, right above this little lip on this particular model. All right? Now we're going to grab our measuring tape, and we're going to measure what it said. Remember, it was 32 inches. So we're going to go from the front bar here to the front bar back there. And we're back way too far, so we're going to bring it up a little bit. I'm going to measure one more time. The front bar here to the front bar there. I'm going to move it back just a little bit. All right, so we're at 32 where it's supposed to be. Now, this fabric tape measure comes with the kit, so if you don't have one with your particular kit, use something that's made of a fabric so you don't scratch your vehicle. All right, so now we have 32. I'm going to go on the other side, and I'm going to make sure that's 32. Front to front. You're just going to move it back just a tiny bit. Front to front. Okay, and that's 32. All right, let me come around there and I'll put the cleat on and I'll show you how that goes, making sure that your foot is inside that channel right here, which it is. We're going to check one more time. 32 to 32. Okay. Okay, now for this you want to open up the door. We're going to take our clips. These are the base clips. And we're going to take our clip and we're going to lift this up right here. There's a little door right here. Open it up like that. We're going to push this one back in because we're done right there. We're going to open that up. And then this fits into a little slot right on the bottom right here. And you'll put it in till you hear a click. Now it didn't click, so I'm going to have to bring it down just a little bit. I'm going to lift this up a little bit here. We're going to push it over the frame of the car itself. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Now there's two screws you're going to adjust. This one here, which actually moves this bracket up and down like this, and the other one pulls the bracket tighter up onto the vehicle like that. So you're going to need to work with this one and this one here. Let me go to the other side, and I'm going to put this on the other side then. The same thing, we're going to open up that little door on the side there, and we're going to slide the clip in. The little door opens up. We're going to open the car door. We're going to take our clip and slide it up underneath the bottom. Clicked right in there. And now we're going to adjust this very slightly just till it touches. We're going to adjust the one up on top. I'll show you on the other side when I get over there. Just till it touches, and then we're going to stop. Okay. And then we're going to tighten this one up. And you're going to work it back and forth, and we're going to tighten it evenly down. You don't want to tighten one side very tight and the other side loose, because it's going to move. Once you're sure, then you turn it until you hear a click. Same thing on the bottom one, until it clicks. Then we close that little door. We'll do the other side now. Exact same thing. Okay, and once you're sure, then you're going to turn it until you hear it lock in place. Same thing on this one. That's tight. Close the little door. And now we'll put our cap on. The way the cap goes is you just put the bottom in first, and then you push it. Like that. Same thing on this side. We're going to take the little rounded hook there, put it over the top like this, put it in there, snap it in place. That's it. The bars are all set. We're going to measure it one more time to make sure that we're exactly where it's supposed to be. Remember, it's supposed to be 32 inches on this particular vehicle. So remember, front of the bar to front of the bar, and it's exactly 32 inches. All right, so that's it. Our racks are now on, so everything is all set. All right, I will tell you this. Check whatever vehicle you're working on to make sure you have the right calculations for the pitch and the toe and the distance between the front and rear. But that's it. This job is done. All right, next thing we'll do is we're going to put our basket on the top. We're going to put our Yakima carrier top on, and then this job is done and out the door. All right, the bars that I used here are actually made by Yakima. It's called a JetStream system. There is different types of bars that you can use. I chose to go with the small bars. The small bar is the width of the vehicle itself. They do have bars that stick out and protrude out through the side if you had something very big you had to use on it. But these are the ones I used. All right, everything is made by Yakima. It fits really well. And that's it. This job is done. Make sure you use a fabric measuring tape so you don't damage the vehicle itself. Okay, this is the measurement for the front windshield. We know that this particular application, it calls 11 inches from right here all the way up to where the foot touches up onto the roof itself. So we take our measuring tape, we hold it right on here on the windshield itself, and we make sure that this is an 11 inches, and as you can see, it is 11 inches here. All right, make sure that your foot is inside the window channel right here, sitting up on top here, and not up on top of this, just like that. All right, our next calculation, you know, is from the front of this bar to the front of that bar, and it was supposed to be 32, and that's what we have, exactly 32. All right, that's it. This job is all done. Now, they do sell locks that you can put in here if you choose to install the optional lock package that comes with it. In this case, we're not going to put the lock package on there. We're just going to go with the regular standard side cover with the pin that locks it in place. Okay, so before you start the job, make sure that you have the clips that are appropriate for your particular vehicle. There'll be a chart that you can look it up on. You can look it up on the website itself. It'll tell you which clips you need, which base towers you need, and then there's personal preference, what you use as far as the racks for the roof of it. These are actually JetStream. They're a little narrow and tapered, but they do have the round tubular bars and different styles that you can have. Like I say, you want to have this one here. I use a small because it's the actual width of the vehicle itself, where you can buy longer bars or medium-sized bars depending on the length that you need to have stick out from the side of the vehicle to accommodate whatever carrier you're putting on the roof. But to make sure you have all of these before you start doing it, and that way the job will go nice and smooth. As far as tools you're going to need a regular household scissor. The tool to tighten everything up comes with the Yakima base towers. It comes with it. It also comes with the measuring tape that you're going to need to make your calculations, and that's really all you're going to need. That's all. All right, so as you can see, everything worked out perfectly, nice and tight. There's no movement in there whatsoever, and the legs sit exactly up against the roof channel where it's supposed to. So we have a perfect job, and that's it. This job is ready to go. Done. All right, we're off to put our basket on top, and then this job is done. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.